Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. I'm Emmanuel, I'm an Airbus pilot, and welcome to another flight in the indie-built Airbus A350. Today we are going to fly the Emirates A350 from Dubai to Bahrain, which is just about a quick 1-hour hop across the Gulf that Emirates is operating daily on the Airbus A350. So I'd say we're not going to lose any time on this one and just get straight into the cockpit to start to prepare our airplane for the flight. First of all, let's get those pitot covers off over here. Alright, and here we are on the A350. So let's start with our preliminary cockpit preparation. And as you can see, we are using the brand new Hughes Z-Core version 2, which adds a lot of things to the airplane. We got the tech log, we got the flight plan, some disinfectant wipes, a phone, a bottle of water. I just love it. And if you really want to, you can also put some sunshades in place everywhere, even though in the real world on the A350 we'd probably rather be doing this over here. So let's go ahead and do this in the simulator as well, shall we? So, you may have noticed we are standing at the cargo apron over here, and that's realistic for this particular flight. I looked at a lot of different departures on Flight Radar 24, and the flight to Bahrain always seems to be parking over here. Alright then, I'd say we're not going to lose any time over this, but let's quickly go ahead and close all those sunshades over here, like this, and then we can get started with our setup. So the engine master levers are both off, the start selector is on, the landing gear lever is down, the wipers are off, and since the plane is in cold and dark, let's quickly go ahead and check the battery voltage, which has to be above 25 volts for all of those. So that's looking fantastic. Then we can turn on the external power, wait for our airplane to power up, and while that is in progress, we can start importing our flight from SimBrief on the Alpha 6 Echo X-Ray Papa, Emirates' very newest A350, at least at the time of this recording. It's probably not going to take too long until it's going to be an outdated one again as well. Alright, so let's start with a load sheet down here, SimBrief import, and you can set the zero fuel weight, and then we are quickly going to have a look into the flight plan before we start going into the fuel. Now, as you can see, significant weather charts, completely clear, so that's nothing to worry about. And then looking into the airport weather, Dubai is fantastic, Bahrain is fantastic, and the alternate in Doha is fantastic as well. All of those pretty hot, but that shall not be much of an issue for us. Alright, so departing at 4:30, we're gonna arrive on time in Bahrain. The weights are all fine, and we'll be cruising in flight level 260, just like the real world flight did. Now, 11.8 is the minimum. Do we need any extra? No, not really. So let's round it up to 12, and that's gonna be our fuel for the day then. So 12 tons it is, set fuel, and we can do realistic refueling down here. And yeah, then let's go ahead and get out our table. By the way, I just love the fact that Hughes is adding more stuff to this, even though I'm afraid we are going to need the keyboard over here so that we can continue. So, all the weights are in. Then let's go over to the ground services menu. We are going to start this one with a catering service, and once that is done, we are going to head over into the boarding procedure, which is going to be bus boarding today, but probably not going to take too long as we only have 204 passengers. Alright then, so going up here, we can see our nav database is out of date. That's because it's just been Iraq Day. So let's go ahead and update that one on the options. Third party that is, we are using Navigraph data, and we can update that one down here. Alright. Nav data downloaded. I love it. Okay, now let's quickly go ahead. In it, company flight plan request. Received and insert. Here it is, Emirates 5 Golf Echo Dubai to Bahrain. Now let's quickly go back to the aircraft status screen, and now we can see A350-900 nav database up to date, and we can delete all of that previously stored stuff down there. Okay, fantastic. So that is looking excellent. Then we got that stuff, the surveillance page is clear, and on the ATC com page we can arm ADS-C. We are going to use Say Intentions AI. Message record is just a load sheet, that's okay, and ATIS request, update all please. So here's Dubai, departing runway 30 right, 270 at 13, 35 degrees, 1002, which we can quickly dial up. Once, twice, and 3 times. Okay, lovely. So let's go to the overhead, ADS 123 nav. Then we can do the fire tests, and that is looking good, and APU can start straight away as well. Let's turn the lights on. Refueling is completed, so let's also get the seatbelts on. And yeah, then we can head right back into the OIS, onto the takeoff performance, where we can synchronize SimBrief. We are going to select 3,800 meters of runway, just in case we do get the intersection, synchronize, and compute. And that's giving us config 2 at 67 degrees. That's looking fantastic. Okay, finally, let's get the terminal charts from Dubai, and for that we got the APC. I think it's east, but yeah, it is. And that got everything we need. Finally, let's go down to the SIDS, runway 30 left and right. And we can get the SID PTs as well. Alright, and that's it. So that's the OIS setup completed. Then, what about our catering? Hello. Oh, there we go. Straight into the GPS jamming. Alright, tell you what then. Let's go back to init over here and IRS. Align on other reference. And we are not going to align on the GNSS position. That thing's already broken. We'll turn that off in a moment. So, do we have stand coordinates? Yes, we do. So we're in Gulf 8. That's over here, 2714.3. So that's north 2714.3 and 5522.8. East 5522.8. Alright. And that is verified. Then let's align the IRS on those. Interestingly enough, it shouldn't say aligning on GNSS position right now, because we have obviously entered something manually. What happens if we go back and right back into it? Nope, that's a bug then, because we have selected a manual reference. But that's fine with me. Okay, GNSS rejected by IRS. Yep, that's expected. So, clear that one, and then the GNSS faults are expected as well down here. Let's reject, or rather let's cancel all of those, and that is looking good. GLS limited, that's understandable. Okay, with that the status page is cleared and checked as well. Okay, fantastic. So, looks like our catering is here now. The APU has started, APU bleed on, and since boarding hasn't started yet, we can switch the APU to Econ mode, which saves a little bit of fuel there. Okay, cool. So that stuff is done, the oxygen is checked, rain repellent is normal, hydraulics are full, and engine oil. Let's see. Is full enough. Okay, fantastic. So the flaps are up, spoilers retracted, all of that agrees. Then let's just release that park and brake. And brake check is looking okay. And the park and brake is set again. Alright, fantastic. With that, we have finished our preliminary pre-flight procedures. So let's go ahead and start with the pre-flight. So you guys are familiar with that? For the time being, let's give that IRS and that GPS a little bit of time, see if that stuff is gonna recover itself. Probably not. I guess we are right in the jamming areas here. But we will find out. So VHF1, VHF2 and the interphone. Transmitter onto the interphone initially. The middle is set, the right side gets the same as the left side. Like this, and you can have the squawk machine down there. Alright, fantastic. So let's go ahead and call for the boarding. Because the catering should be done like any moment now. Okay, request boarding. Remember, they still have to bring the buses, so that is going to take a little time there as well. Alright, in the meantime, let's get started with our flight plan. We are the Emirates 5 Golf Echo, Dubai to Bahrain, alternate in Doha. So far so good, flight level 260 is correct. Then, let's see, the cruise temperature is -23. And the tropopause is in 51,000. Like that. We can already uplink the wind since there are not going to be any... Okay, Dubai, yep, that position looks about correct. Nav primary, note that it doesn't say GPS primary, because the GPS is broken. But that's fine. Alright. So then let's continue. Departure, runway 30 right, Navix 3 Foxtrot departure. Just this one, insert, and then in Bahrain we're landing on 30 right, and we got the Arctic 1 Golf arrival. The approach will obviously be the ILS, Star Arctic 1 Golf. Do we need a VIA? No, we don't. Okay, Tempe, and insert. Okay, then let's take a look at our departure chart. So, Navix 3 Foxtrot, straight at Delta Bravo 570. Let's do it like this so that we can actually read everything. So, 570, 586. And obviously this over here is a minimum speed restriction, so we're gonna delete that, and the same also applies to this one, so we're gonna delete that as well. Okay, so 586 above 2800, then we have 587 above 3500, maximum 220, 410, low PAB, and Navix. Alright, with that our SID is checked, then check IRS airport position. Yep, that is checked. Alright, so data, waypoint, pilot stored, new waypoint, and this is going to be DXB X3. Based on Dubai's 30 right with a bearing of 299 and a distance of 20 miles. Okay, store that waypoint. And then let's go into the fix info page. OMDB 30 right, radial 299, and fix 2 is gonna become DXBX3. Alright, so far so good. Then we have all of that stuff, nav aids, nothing tuned, fuel and load. So, plant 0 fuel weight 162.3. And since we don't know CG yet, we're gonna enter 25. The block fuel is 12. We don't know the passenger numbers yet, which is okay. So, taxi 600, route reserve. Okay, that looks interesting. Well, it's gonna be 0.5, and the alternate is gonna be 2.9. Final 2.3. Like that, and looks like there is something wrong with the calculations. Okay, well, I'll accept that for the time being. So, takeoff performance, send to FMS, and confirm that, please. Alright, engine out acceleration in 1600, and the position monitor is going to be Dubai's 30 right. Okay. We'll carefully cross-check our position once we're at the runway, and then we might have to do a position update because of the broken IRSs. But we'll get to that when the time comes. What does the GPS position say? It's actually okay right now. Well, for the time being we can keep this, but tell you what, GPS deselect. That's just to be safe here with all the jamming taking place. That way we are using conventional data for our IRSs, and that is fine. Okay, fantastic. So we got that stuff, then let's go down into the secondary, import, active, and then SAC flight plan, Dubai, next waypoint, and that's DXB X3. With a holding over there, please, like this, and then return new destination OMDB. And in here we will fly an ILS approach runway 30 left. And this is all looking fantastic. Okay, then SAC number 2, import active, to keep a copy of what we got, and that's it. And just because it couldn't calculate anything, let's just quickly scroll through all of this. But this looks good. Okay, then I'm not sure why it doesn't want to calculate, but I don't care, because everything in here is correct, so it's probably going to fix itself once we are actually in the air. No comments on that arrival, huh? I can understand why the plane wants to refuse to calculate. I would probably do that as well. Okay, lovely. So everything's set up. Then let's go ahead and get started with our departure briefing, please. And you can do that. Okay, so we are going to leave Dubai runway 30 right on the Navex 3 Foxtrot departure. Initial most likely 4,000, at the MSA is 3,000. Extra fuel and time, well, we loaded nothing, so it should be pretty much 0. Okay, our takeoff is from 30 right. That means we got one hotspot for our taxi, which is a crossing of runway 30 left. Apart from that, nothing special there. So we are going to take off on 30 right. The stop margin is going to be more than plenty, as we're very light today. Engine out sits straight at 25, pick up the holding, straight at 20 actually, pick up the holding at the Dubai X3 point, and then we can return for an ILS approach runway 30 left without overweight. Now, for our arrival, that means we got nothing special. And for the rest of our briefing, the initial speed is 220 knots. 182 is the green dot speed, so we can retract all the way. Now, apart from that, I've got nothing special, nothing non-standard. Well, actually, yeah, there is one non-standard thing. That's the GPS jamming going on. And as a result, we have deselected the GPS. Okay, and that's it. Do you have any questions? Nope? Fantastic. So that's our briefing completed. Then let's do the cockpit preparation checklist, please. Gear pins and covers removed. Fuel quantity 12 tons balanced. And barrel reference QNH 1002. Cockpit preparation checklist complete. Alright, since we're getting passengers on board now, let's switch the APU into normal mode, and that's it. So, oh, down here is where I want to go. It is information X-ray. So you're set to say intentions, that's good. Clearance, departure. Gate Golf 8 and the Asus is X-Ray. 350-900 to Bahrain from Dubai Station Dubai. Transfer to mailbox and sent. Okay, clearance request is on its way. Then let's wait for the IFR clearance to arrive, and in the meantime, quick check down here, load sheet, 75, okay. 81 of 81. Well, that's not correct. But okay, they are going further, that's fine with me. 91 of 81 boarded. Yeah, GSX, good job. Yeah, that looks more like it.
On behalf of Emirates and the entire group, I would like to extend a warm welcome aboard.
Yeah guys, bus boarding. It's slow. There is no question about it. It is just slow.
And heading to Bahrain International Airport.
Well, people going through a closed door over there.
Your seats according to your boarding passes.
Open that, please.
Store your hand luggage in the overhead bins or under the seats.
Okay, well, let's see about the IFR clearance. Should arrive any moment, I hope.
Reach out to any member of our crew. Thank you for choosing to
Company message. Let's see. Load sheet prelim and all the rest is checked. Okay. Yeah, that's all clear. I just don't get why it's still saying company message. Like, none of those is showing any longer, so theoretically speaking, I would expect the company message prompt to clear. Which is what happens if I go clear all. Now it's deleted them. But the company message prompt is still there. Why? Not from this one, is it? No. Yeah, silence. Okay, that is copied, and here's our departure clearance. Print that, please. Wilco send. So, clear to Bahrain, Nabi 3 Foxtrot departure. That's confirmed. So, maintain 4000. And that is set. Departure 122.5. And squawk 7334, expect runway 30 right. We got 30 right, and the squawk 7334. Okay, that is set. Alright, fantastic. So the IFR clearance is on board, and is checked down there. No longer need that one, let's just stick to this. Okay, fantastic. So all the messages here are cleared. Then why do we still have the company message prompt? Message record, return to list. Does it want us to open all of these? And why is it showing us Atuses in the CPDLC message log? That is not correct. But it may explain why this is constantly telling us that there is a company message. Okay, we do a preliminary load sheet here. Let's print that one. Okay, so that's still preliminary. Let's hope that they're actually going to deliver a final load sheet. That'd be fantastic. That'd be a really nice addition to the aircraft. Okay, but for the time being, we got everything we need, so back to the FMS. Alright, nice. Then boarding is still ongoing, going to take a little while. In the meantime, we have done everything we could down here, so I guess from now on it's just waiting for a little bit until we're actually done with our boarding. See down here, 205 of 222. Alright, so we're pretty much finished. That is great. Well then, you can already remove the external power units, please. And the park and brake is set. So the GPU goes, chocks go. Loading is completed as well already. That's great. And I hope that that's been it. If they need another bus, that would mildly annoy me. And they need another bus. Okay. Well, let's already say hello to our passengers. Ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning from the flight deck. This is your captain speaking. My name is Emmanuel, and in the name of Emirates, I would like to welcome you all on board of our Airbus A350-900 on our flight to Bahrain. Today's flight time will be 55 minutes, expecting a smooth flight at an altitude of 26,000 feet or approximately 8,000 meters. We are just waiting for the last couple of passengers to arrive. Once that is done, we'll finish our paperwork and then start the engines within a matter of a couple of minutes. We do expect on-time arrival today, so for the time being, just sit back, relax, and make yourself comfortable. And if there is anything we can do for you to make your flight more enjoyable, please don't hesitate to ask any of our charming cabin crew members. The cabin crew will shortly perform the safety demonstration. That is not just for your own safety, but also for the safety of the other passengers sitting around you, so we do ask for your full and undivided attention. Thank you very much for being on board. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight with us. Alright, so these are gone. I have no idea why this is flashing again. I do hope that it means the last bus has arrived. Yeah, looks like it. Here we go. Wonderful. Alright, last couple of guests are coming on board. Then we can go ahead and assume that the load sheet is received, because once all those passengers enter the bus, they should have finished the procedure. So let's see down here. Passengers, it's almost full, so we know that the zero fuel weight is going to stay. And for the trim, we're looking at 23.1. Like that, and that is a total of 222 passengers. Like this. So, boarding complete, I like it. Then let's go for pushback and departure. Okay, so the figures down here are looking good. For some reason it's still unable to calculate the takeoff weight. But we got a gross weight of 174.2. And we had calculated... Yeah, okay, let's do 174. Compute. That's pretty much unchanged, is it? Send to FMS. Confirm, yeah, it is unchanged. Alright, fantastic. Then we are done with all of that stuff. THS for takeoff 29.4. Is that correct? Yeah, it is. Oh, look at that. The zero fuel weight CG has changed. 29.2 and 236. Okay. Then we're gonna take that.
Our estimated flight time is approximately 55 minutes. Please pay close attention.
So that's 29.2 and 236. Okay. Good enough for me. As long as the zero fuel weight doesn't change. So it looks like GSX has taken some of our cargo and put that into the passenger seats. Just don't ask questions, okay? Just don't ask questions. Okay, I'm happy with that stuff, so let's go ahead and see down here. Slides, please. We did already welcome our passengers, so let's go for the before start checklist. Actually, tell you what, let's tidy this up. That's looking a bit better, isn't it? Okay then, let's call for pushback.
Life vests are located under your seat. To use, pull it out, place it over your head, and fasten it. Inflate only after leaving the aircraft.
Right, ground 11835.
For children are available. Floor level lighting will guide you to the
Ground from cockpit. Please confirm that doors and hatches are closed, ground equipment is removed, and bypass pin is installed. All confirmed. Okay, roger. Then we'll ask for push.
Exit may be behind you. In case of evacuation, leave all personal belongings behind.
Dubai ground, Emirates 5 Golf Echo Heavy, request pushback and startup.
Then follow our member right away. The safety information card in your seat pocket contains all details. Thank you for your attention. Wish you a pleasant flight.
Emirates 5 Golf Echo, request pushback and startup. No taxi via something.
Emirates 5 Golf Echo, push and start approved. Face northeast.
Push and start approved, face northeast, Emirates 5 Golf Echo. Okay, before start checklist. Park and brake, set, takeoff speeds and thrust, V1 155, VR 155, V2 160, flex 67. Slides, armed, nose wheel steering disconnect memo checked, before start checklist complete. Okay then, ground from cockpit. Well, ground from cockpit. Pushback and startup approved and the park and brake is set. Roger, release brakes please. Park and brake released. Roger that, start of the pushback, stand by for engine start. Okay, now I'm going to switch this bloody enable GSX control off because it constantly makes that ground menu flash. I don't like that ground menu flashing if it's not supposed to flash. Okay, you can put your stuff away as well. So, ground from cockpit. We're ready for engine start, sequence 1 then 2, and we'll begin with engine number 1. After that, engine 1. Okay, engine 1 start. So, a couple of A380s over there. Pushback completed, set park and brake. And park and brake is set. You're clear to lower the aircraft, remove all ground equipment, and advise when clear, please. And we have a good start in engine number 1, starting engine number 2. Start valve is closed, so we can already commence 2. Engine 2 start. Don't need that timer any longer. So, A380s are departing, 777s are behind. Can we get a sneak peek at what we're expecting? Oh, doesn't look too busy at the moment. That's good. Okay, so we saw the truck drive away over there. Here's the ramp agent and she is holding a pin, and we have 2 good starts, clear to disconnect, and have a good day, bye bye. Alright. Here we go, that's 2 good ones. So, flight control check. Full up. Full down. Neutral. Full left. Full right. Neutral. Rudder. Full left. Full right, and neutral. Okay, after start checklist. Anti-ice off, flight controls checked, ground clearance received, after start checklist complete. Emirates 5 Golf Echo Heavy, request taxi.
Emirates 5 Golf Echo, runway 30 right taxi, via Juliet 4, Kilo 12, hold short of runway 30 left, then M15B, M15A.
Emirates 5 Golf Echo, taxi runway 30 right via Juliet 4, Kilo 12, Mike 15 Alpha and hold short 12 left. Correction, 30 left. Okay, GPS deselected remains, that's okay. So, straight ahead, Juliet 4, Kilo 12 to hold short. Clear on the left side. Clear on the right side. Brake released. Let's go. Brake check. Brakes okay. So initially straight out, slide left, and then we are basically behind the 777 over there. And it looks like for once we might not even have an endless holding. Disregard what I said, there's an A380 coming. But just one of them, that's good. Okay, and I have no changes to the briefing. Why is that shit going on again? Okay, surveillance, TORS off. Okay, come on, you're first with your A380. In the meantime,
Emirates 42 X-ray ready to taxi.
we need to switch anything off over here. No, GPWS stays, GS mode stays, flat mode stays. I don't want to select the GPWS off, especially because that doesn't seem to make a difference. Okay, and that stays on. So, surveillance, TCAS 1 and 2 forward. Yeah, clear surveillance. NAV, GNSS 2 rejected by IRS, clear NAV. GNSS 2 fault, clear NAV. Okay, NAV, GNSS aircraft position disagree. That's basically the only interesting one from GPS jamming, but the position will be checked once we're at the runway. So that is done, clear NAV, and we can clear that one as well, and that one as well. Okay, looks like the A380 can cross now, since the 777 is gone. And then it's gonna be our turn behind him. Okay, status. Info, GLS limited to approach 1. In-off systems, all phases, GNSS 2, TCAS 1 and 2, ADSB traffic 1 and 2, for approach and landing, GLS autoland and BTV. Okay, remove status, remove status. And that's the ECAM actions complete. Alright, takeoff config is tested, nav primary lost, that's checked. Okay. So, that's it. Now, A380 cross. The runway is clear. Anything else coming there? I mean, obviously, we're in Dubai. But they... Okay, now the A380 is going. I like it. Emirates 5 Golf Echo request crossing runway 30 left. Crossing 30 left behind the A380 approved, Emirates 5 Golf Echo. Okay, it's your turn. Get going. I have a feeling he wants to wait until that guy's off the runway. But I'll tell you what, I don't want to wait. But I suppose we have to. Yeah, tell you what, guys. I'm just gonna speed this up a little bit, and then I'll see you when we are at the holding point and ready for departure.
Cross runway 30 left. Cross 30 left, Emirates 58, Quebec. Emirates 56, Whiskey contact tower on 118.75. Tower, Emirates 56, Whiskey.
Well, he waited for so long, and then he collides with someone on the runway.
Runway 30 right, taxi, uniform, Yankee.
That's a good job. That's a good job. Alright, now let's continue speeding this up
Short of runway 30 left.
until we're actually at the runway and ready for departure.
Emirates 5 Golf Echo Heavy, runway 30 right, wind 270 at 13, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 30 right, cleared for takeoff, Emirates 5 Golf Echo Heavy. Alright guys, the A380 despawned. Guess we don't need a comment on that, but yeah, with that we are ready to go and have just received our takeoff clearance. I'm going to use the weather radar on both sides because the terrain display is linked to the GPS, so that thing is inoperative. Then we did calculate packs on for the takeoff, so let's do the taxi and lineup checklists please. And that's flap setting, config 2, radar on, taxi checklist complete, and the lineup checklist please. See, that's why I got a pilot monitoring in the real world.
Hold short of 30 right, Sky Dubai 920.
Even though we just overshot a couple meters. Nonetheless, lineup checklist. Cabin secured, takeoff runway 30 right full length, packs 1 and 2 are on, and that's the lineup checklist complete. Okay, we do have enough primary now, which is interesting because we deselected it, but in any case our position looks correct, so take off.
Short of 30 left, Emirates 4 Papa Victor.
Manflex 67 SRS runway auto thrust blue. Thrust set. .100 knots, checked.
Hold short of 30 right, Sky Dubai 920.
Rotate. Pause of climb. Gear up. Nav, checked. Did you see how early it lifted off? You can really feel how light we are. Autopilot 1.
Contact departure.
Home to departure, Emirates 5 Golf Echo. Right, flaps 1. Speed checked, flaps 1. And we have thrust climb, climb, auto thrust.
30 right, ready for departure.
Flap 0. Speed checked, flaps 0. Two-way departure, Emirates 5 Golf Echo Heavy, passing 2,200, climbing 4,000. Speed, vertical speed.
Emirates 5 Golf Echo Heavy means departure radar contact. Climb 8,000.
Climbing 8,000, Emirates 5 Golf Echo. First climb, alt 8,000 blue. Okay. So with that, we're up and on our way. Now, none of those constraints here should be any issue at all for us. So I'm really not worried about any of these.
Emirates 5 Golf Echo, climb flight level 220.
Emirates 5 Golf Echo, climbing flight level 220. 22,000 blue. Checked. Alright, and here we are. Now, let's ask the important question. Still not calculating correctly. 13,000 miles. Why? Looks like it's that mobile over here that may have an incorrect distance. But actually, no, the distance is looking okay. But the ETA is messed up. At the end of the sit. Well, scrolling down here, everything seems fine, so I'm just gonna keep that. That's the one. Okay, can't really tell what that is even. But it's the one prior to Nagat. Nagat is down here, so it's gotta be Rigak that's broken. Distances seem fine though, so not 100% sure. Let's have a look at the arrival chart. Give me Obi. Star runway 30 right. Should end at Rigak. Well, Nagat. Nagat into the downwind. They should fly from Ordik to Lovak to Opsas. We got Ordik, Lovak, Opsas,
Emirates 5 Golf Echo.
Rigak.
Flight level 260.
Climbing flight level 260, Emirates 5 Golf Echo. I'll cruise 26,000 blue.
Electronic devices.
And that's all checked.
Flight.
Alright, so lights off, signs auto, and the rest is set. Let me see what happens if I remove the overfly point here. Is that gonna fix it? No. So LRAP. No. Ordik is incorrect. Look at that. After LRAP goes somewhere far down to the south. Okay. Ordik is the problem. Well, delete that. Remove the discontinuity. Almost correct. Let's insert that, see what we're gonna get. Look at that, the arrival times are looking much better. I was probably calculating down here. And guys, I think we just fixed the problem. Okay. Yeah, minus 100 tons, no comment, okay, it's still wrong. Alright, I don't care. Set standard. And standard is cross-check, passing flight level 139 now. Checked. Alright, gonna leave it that way, and yeah, then for the time being, the top of the descent seems to look correct, just like the altitude we saw earlier, so I'm just gonna ignore it for the time being. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight with us, and then I see you all when we start our approach into Bahrain later on. Alright, that's an ILS runway 30 right to be expected, and that's what we are gonna do. We're currently cleared inbound to Lovak, and from there we are flying the standard arrival as planned. Now, we couldn't really fix that FMS problem, so we are doing things the easy and dirty way. That means we simply don't care. Now, we are using managed mode. I've entered the Lovak 8000 restriction that should allow us more or less a straight-in approach, but it seems that there is something wrong down there with our
Echo, descent altitude 5,000 feet. Descending to 5,000 feet. Emirates 5 Golf Echo.
Thrust out, load and descend alt 5000 blue. So yeah, our nav mode may not be entirely reliable on final, we'll see about that. Now, due to all the GPS jamming going on, we're also not using BTV, but we will be using manual braking. And that's pretty much the, let's say, non-standard thing that I got over here. For the rest, let's just go into the standard approach briefing and see what we're going to be up to. So this is going to be radar vector ILS approach, runway 30 left, with a minimum safe altitude of 2,000 feet and a minimum of 260 feet. The go around is straight out to 2500 left turn out, and that's it. And extra fuel and time, well, we got 6,000 now, so the extra fuel is more or less 0. Okay, so that's as planned. Alright, and that's it. So, flight director guidance for the approach, and we are going to use config 3 for this landing. Disregard the V approach down here for the time being because of the incorrect fuel, so that is going to come up a little bit. The same goes for our speed up here. Right now we're at 168, so if you just run some landing performance here, synchronize, and wait 168, config 3, and brake mode, we'll just call it medium, reverser yes. RB30 right, interesting, doesn't know the runway length. Well, let's call it 3,500, I don't care if that's correct or not.
Ladies and gentlemen,
But
we are now
it's in here.
final approach into Bahrain.
Okay, no comment on that.
Devices and store them on
Something is messed up, but I'm not going to worry too much about that. Okay, we'll be using a little bit of manual overrides then in order to get everything where we want it to go. Okay, approach 1, but why? Approach mode isn't selected yet. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, well, gonna leave that without any further comment. Okay, that's pretty much it. So, stop margin will be plenty, the runway is more than long enough, and we've got nothing special, nothing non-standard. Vacate the runway off to the left-hand side. Most likely over here in Alpha 3, maybe Alpha 4, 2,400 meters, but max reverse, no auto brake, just let it slow down naturally until we're nice and slow, and then we go off and to the gate. And that's pretty much it. Do you have any questions or suggestions? I guess not. Okay.
Emirates 5 Golf Echo, turn left heading 100 vectors for the ILS runway 30 right approach. Left heading 100, vectors for the ILS runway 30 right approach.
Wait a second.
Emirates
100. That's quite the distance. Slight delay, I guess. Slight delay vector. Speed, vertical speed. Alright, let's extend the center line.
Emirates 5 Golf Echo, descend 3000.
Here we go. Emirates 5 Golf Echo descending 3000. So, direct 2, course in 300. So let's hope that this delay vector isn't going to be for too long.
5 Golf Echo, turn heading 210.
Okay. Heading 210, Emirates 5 Golf Echo. Talk about the devil, here I am. Okay, that was easy. So, approach checklist please. No, not you. Okay, Bahrain, QNH 1005, minimum is gonna be Babo 230, and that is 260, that's down here already. I guess that's a problem. So somewhere with the distance remaining. Well, disregard that. Okay, runway condition, dry and auto brake off. Approach checklist complete. Destination EFOC below min, yeah, nothing to worry about. What if we give it direct to the Fox India? Is that gonna be any better? Insert. I mean, the distances do look better over here. Let's see if it...
Emirates 5 Golf Echo Heavy, 11 miles from Foxtrot India 30 Romeo, turn right heading 285, descend altitude 1500 feet until established on the localizer, cleared for the ILS runway 30 right approach.
Right heading 285, descending 1500, cleared ILS 30 right, Emirates 5 Golf Echo. Okay, here we go again. GNSS position is deselected. Why is it even giving us any of those errors when the GNSS is turned off? Okay, well, deselect all of that shit. Surveillance. We shouldn't get a pull-up when the train system is off. But okay. Cleared for the approach. Plan 3 dual, autopilot 1 and 2, glass globe localizer blue. Localizer live. Okay, then just clear all of that nonsense, okay? And tell you what, we're just gonna emergency cancel all of that. Hello? I said emergency cancel all of that. Okay. Because when you emergency cancel them, they're not gonna come back. Okay, localizer live. And activate approach phase.
2,500.
Checked. And block.
Emirates 5 Golf Echo, contact Bahrain Tower on 118.5.
118.5, Emirates 5 Golf Echo. Bahrain Tower, Emirates 5 Golf Echo Heavy, established ILS 30 right. So we might need a bit of convincing here with the speed brake.
Emirates 5 Golf Echo Heavy, Bahrain
Flaps 1.
330.
Speed checked, flaps 1. Okay, status, GLS limited, and that's all copied. BTV inop is noted, we are on manual braking. Remove status. Alright, flaps 2. Speed check, flaps 2. Glass loop star. Current altitude 2500 set. Alright, gear down. And speed brakes are coming in. Flaps 3. Speed check, flaps 3. Checked. Okay, landing checklist. Landing check is complete. Alright, so everything done, nicely established. Approach 1. Okay, nice. So, we are clear to land. Actually, no, we are not. We just gotta continue approach. Emirates 5 Golf Echo, are we clear to land? I guess no answer is also an answer. But I can see in the text box of say intentions that we are clear to land. For some reason it sounds like the voice has a problem here. That's fine then, I don't care. I cannot hear you. Please use another voice. Let's see if ATC does that.
500. Emirates 5 Golf
Aha.
Echo, Roger. Adjusting transmission.
Are we cleared to land? Let's see. Maybe we can get it on record. Correct. Yeah, we are clear to land. I've just decided that we are.
100. 50, 40, 30, 20, retard, 10, 5.
Spoilers, reverse green, decel. Look at how lovely that works without auto brake. No problem at all, huh? And we're below 100, then we can also use some manual braking here. Okay, let's see if the taxi map works or not.
Emirates 5 Golf Echo, welcome to Bahrain. Exit at Alpha 3 if able. Contact ground on 121.85.
12185, Emirates 5 Golf Echo.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Bahrain. Did you know that Bahrain is home?
Bahrain ground, Emirates 5 Golf Echo, request taxi to the gate.
Thank you for flying with Emirates today. Please remain seated until we reach our final parking position. On behalf of your flight, thank you for flying with Emirates. The local time is 8:45.
Gate 15 via Quebec and Zulu, Emirates 5 Golf Echo, good day. Okay, 15 is somewhere over there, so Zulu is over here. Alright, so straight ahead and then second to the left. Alright, can definitely do that. Let's see if we can convince GSX. I'll just go with select from map here. I'll do that off screen. Probably easiest. But the map doesn't open. Okay. In that case, thank you, clear. So, parking 1.5 is selected, start APU. Alright guys, well I gotta say this was an interesting flight. Not exactly the one you do every day, especially with the remote parking, with all the GPS problems. We did figure out another couple of bugs in the ini builds as well. Because it's always good if you do. Okay, and here's number 15, and that 7.3 should absolutely not be there, so I am just going to clear all the AI at once. And here we are. Taxi lights off. Alright, A359 is on the guidance system. Let's take it nice and slow. Two, 1, 0, and stop. Okay, APU bleed on, plug and brake is set, and APU bleed is confirmed. Coming through, disarm doors and cross check. Alright, and here we are. Then let's go ahead and select deboarding. Slides are disarmed. Here we go. Did it take it? Nope. So we'll do again. Did it take it? Come on, you. I'm clicking. There's nothing happening. Okay. Fuck off, GSX. Deboarding requested. Nice. That's all I wanted to know. Alright. Chocks. Ground power. Alright, and I'm fairly sure that would also have an air conditioning unit here. Let's shut down that APU and connect the air conditioning unit. Alright guys, and that's it. Now there should have been a jetway over here. Okay, no comment. In any case, parking checklist. So, parking brake chocks, brake set, wing lights off, parking checklist complete. Alright, and we know that the chocks are in position, so let's turn that parking brake off, and a quick look at the wheel page tells us 170 degrees. Fantastic. Okay, and that's it for today. So guys, as you could see, the GPS jamming a little annoying, but really all you need to do is to switch it off. Switch the GPS off in here. That should have prevented all those warnings from appearing as well. So, small ini-build bug. But nonetheless, here we are. So, I do hope that you guys have enjoyed the flight with us today. As always, leave your feedback in the comments underneath the video, like, comment and subscribe, and if you really love what I'm doing on this channel, I would appreciate a small donation through the Buy Me Coffee link in the video description below. Thank you very much for watching, and I'm looking forward to see you all again on the next one.